All right, now we're recording.
We're recording.
And I said that we wouldn't act like our podcast selves. We'd act like normal people.
That's
Our
like
normal
a whole paradox in itself, though. I don't know if I'm aware of my podcast self versus my personal self.
I don't think I am either. And this is the dangerous left curve. Ah! I hate this fucking curve. The street is so fucking dangerous.
It is a really spooky curve to take.
Yeah.
Especially in the rain.
So I bought a nice microphone recently.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would really help out like our podcast and be cool in that way. But I'm not sure if it is, because we really like to record. I don't know if it's just we're just weird, but I feel like we love a good field recording.
Yeah, recording in the car, even if there isn't a reason to, has become... It's funny because we started doing that out of necessity because we both had apartments with roommates and didn't have a quiet place to do this. It wasn't like hideously mortifying. But now it's just kind of the way that we do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we still live with people, so I guess maybe that problem hasn't changed, but it's a little different. Like, there's spaces we could maybe set up. It's
changed in a different way where it's like, I don't know, speaking of apartment stuff and speaking of the beginning, why don't you not go straight right here and just take a right?
Take a right? Okay.
Yeah, because this straight is just fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I hate going straight.
Yeah.
This area has so many weird street things that...
Rockland.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 boop, bop. Oh, yeah, shit. Exposed us.
I didn't know if you wanted to say it, but...
I did. But, so, this is the New Year's Eve episode.
It is.
And we do have something special planned for the... take this left, if you can. We do have something special planned for the actual one... Oh, not this one.
What?
That one.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
A little tricky there. There's two lefts that are like stacked on top of each other, so I could see why you did that.
I didn't even see this one.
I shouldn't have stopped you. I should have just let you take the wrong turn.
Oh, it's fine.
Because it's more dangerous to hesitate, probably.
It's okay.
But I think today we kind of... you want to take the next left. We were talking about...
I should have just let you drive today.
No, it's okay.
You seem anxious.
Well, I want to get the episode done just because it'll feel good. And we're night driving in the rain right now.
Yeah.
Which, like...
We do hate that.
Yeah, which isn't really, like, a great thing.
What was your point, though? You were saying something.
I was saying our hypothetical plan was to discuss our year in review of our personal selves.
Yeah.
And our like, resolutions for the upcoming year. You know, and we do, and I guess just to say it out, who cares if it's not really a surprise, but I was thinking hypothetically, or we were talking hypothetically, like this episode would be our personal selves in review and for the future. And you want to take this left, sorry. Oh, no, at this, like, shit up here.
Oh, that left.
Yeah. So this episode will be our, like, personal year in review and resolutions.
Is that a table?
No, but this is a good time to go. We're gonna get stuck in.
You see that?
Yeah, it looks kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Looks like a shitty table on the side of the road in the rain.
Well, it is raining. Yeah.
If it wasn't raining, it'd probably be a good find. I'll say that. And the next episode, January 7th, which would be the podcast A Year in Review.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that is the actual 1 year anniversary of the first episode of our podcast.
Can you believe that?
I fucking can't. Because, like, as we've discussed before, my New Year's Eve kind of ritual, so to speak, is I like to make, like, a bullet-pointed, loose list of everything that happened in the previous year. Which I did tonight, actually.
Did you really?
Yes. I didn't get to write down my New Year's Eve goals yet. Or resolutions.
Yeah.
But, oh my god, I feel like so, like, nauseous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
From eating that horrible meatball sub.
You normally say congested.
I know, I've finally learned that that's not what congested means. It's finally set in. I'm not fucking congested. I'm nauseous. Moving on. That's just one of the things I learned in 2021.
Cute.
But, dude, I was lit because, like, my year in review of 2021, like, writing down everything that I did in 2021 is almost to a T your year in review as well.
Really?
Yeah, because we're the fucking only people we saw this year.
That's true.
We only fucking hung out with each other. Like, with a very small group of exceptions and like, close family.
Yeah.
It's just been us.
Yeah.
So, and you know what I noticed? To put it very simply, so that I'm not, like, monologuing too long. The first, like, fucking 8 or 9 months of 2021, for me, and kind of for you. For me, it left at this intersection.
Okay.
And we're at our destination, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
For me, it was just... I don't want to talk too much about, like, financial stuff, obviously, but I wasn't working. I was just waking up in my apartment every single day. I would cook breakfast, and then I would immediately just go skate. And I don't think they get to go. You have the right of way. I would go skate, and then I would come home. And I was just exercising and doing nothing every single day and hanging out with you. We would hang out, skate, and eat. And that was it. And there was a brief period of time where I would be in your apartment for like a whole half of a day while you weren't there playing Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
And hanging out with Milo, your cat.
I forgot about that. That was so good.
But then in September, when I came back to Rockland, my year in review, the last few months of 2021, completely changed to doing nothing, not making a lot of art at all, not skating nearly as much, and listening to infinite hours of podcasts and playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
So my year, basically, for the first 3/4 of it, went from being incredibly active with lots of different things and different places that me and you were going to and doing shit and constantly on the move and excited, to being an absolute, like, waste of oxygen.
Oh, that's not fair.
That's how I feel.
Huh.
Kind of, not gonna lie, feel like I totally fucking Ooh! I thought that... sorry.
What?
I thought that guy was gonna do something stupid, not you.
Oh, that's okay. Huh. That's interesting. Contrast. I don't think that that's a fair way to represent the last few months for you, though.
I was literally doing lists, looking at my journals, thinking back as hard as I could to what I've done since August, and almost all of it has been related to Minecraft, skateboarding, and podcasts. Except for, like, NaNoWriMo and stuff.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And stuff that me and you have done together. And I painted.
And you had a whole bunch of little side quests going on.
Okay,
I don't know
so
if you wanna talk
fine.
about those,
Maybe I don't know.
Do you want to talk about the priest thing?
Yeah, we could talk about the priest thing. I might have talked about that last episode.
Did you?
A little bit. Well, I might have acknowledged it. We could talk about that in a little while,
It's
though.
kind of a fun little adventure.
But dude, this is like...
My feet smell so bad right now. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't even smell them.
For the first time all day.
Dude, we've been doing this for long enough that you should know that I don't care about your feet smell. It should be assumed that I welcome your feet smell.
Oh, you welcome it?
I welcome it.
Wow.
Fully.
Do you want to smell
Embrace it. No. Maybe. No. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. I'm completely fine.
I'm okay with your feet smell.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm not contributing a lot right now because I'm sleepy.
I'm talking a lot.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not really talking that much, honestly. You're derailing yourself with traffic anxiety a lot.
Yeah, I felt like you felt really distracted by the traffic too. And I know can tend to, like, that can be kind of agitating.
It's okay.
You know? Okay. Well, I'm glad.
Now.
As long as if you're good, I'm good.
I'm good.
Cool. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I haven't had the time yet to do a year in review kind of reflection. Because I've been working all week. Tomorrow will be the last day of my work week. And I didn't realize this, but I normally average about 70 hours in my bi-weekly pay cycle. So,
Shit.
like, 35 hours a week or something. And
Wow.
I have almost 80 this pay cycle.
Holy frick.
Yeah, so...
And you work pretty early usually, so that's like...
Yeah.
Not a lot of sleep.
Well, also, I mean, I work early,
You
but
look
I work
wiped
an
out.
hour away from my house, too, so I have a pretty long commute.
Ugh.
So, yeah, I have been very busy.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not a bad thing. I'm making money, and I like my job, but I
You're
haven't had
working
time.
so hard. You're killing it.
Thank you. I try.
It shows. I think you're badass.
I think you're badass.
I love you.
Love you too. But yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to really reflect on the actual events of the past year, but so much has happened. Like, I am the kind of person who doesn't do very well with stagnant periods of time, to the point where sometimes I make things happen in my life that don't really need to happen. Like, part of the reason when we were talking about at the beginning of this year, when you would be in my apartment with Milo, when I'd be gone, it was because before I actually even ran out of pandemic unemployment, I got a job because I was losing my mind being quarantined.
Yeah,
I wanted friends.
You were afraid. It's okay. It was a tough time, which is kind of interesting because when you made that decision and when that was happening, that was literally like 1 year ago right now.
Yeah.
Because our year started with us just ending our COVID quarantine. Because we got COVID beginning of December, mid-December or whatever.
Right before the vaccine was available.
Right before the vaccine was available. And then we were quarantined together. And we basically we got out of quarantine and you were able to finally go home. And we were finally able to be alone again for fucking, I mean, like December 30th or something, or just right before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And yeah, but yeah. And that's how our year started. And that feels to me like it was fucking recently. Like that feels like it was a couple months ago. Oh, because our quarantine, we probably talked about it infinitely. We had to do that together, which was a wonderful time. Despite the absolute like bone-chilling fear of having COVID without any familiarity of what to do before the vaccine. Like we were just it was too early.
Yeah.
Even at the end of 2020 for us to really fully understand what we were experiencing. Now, I feel like if I got it, I would still be very upset and agitated and anxious that I have it, but I think I would be pretty chill.
Well, the other thing, too, was I didn't know anybody that had it. It wasn't like there were, like, weaker variants or anything going around at the time.
Yeah.
It was just, like, the mindset. I mean, it's interesting, because I feel like it's a little different. Like, since I moved back to the South Shore, and I've been interacting with people, like my family and stuff, or people down here, it seems like the mentality was a lot different in Boston, which I'm not casting any kind of judgment on that right now. It's just, like, stating is it a fact.
You felt more secure in Boston?
No. The way people act about it, like, a lot of people that I know right now didn't get furloughed from their jobs. Like, they were working the whole time. Like, there wasn't really a lot of change other than, like, mask mandate stuff and general levels of stress. But people's lives, for the most part, stayed the same. My experience in Boston was that everybody I knew, their lives were just halted. Like, you couldn't ride public transit anymore. You couldn't see anybody. It was a lot of people that were living with roommates that didn't know very well, who couldn't see their families at all. Versus down here, if you're in our age group, you're probably living with your family.
Right.
So it's interesting because my experience anyway was that it, like, completely halted my life and everything was fucked and everyone was terrified. But maybe that wasn't universal.
I think that was maybe more universal than not. There were definitely a lot of people that were probably just fine or just didn't really have that bad of an initial COVID year.
Yeah.
But I think for the majority of people, it was definitely extremely debilitating and earth-shattering.
Yeah.
I think I just said earth-shattering by accident. I meant earth-shattering.
I knew what you meant. It's okay.
Right. I don't know why I even clarified that. That was
No, it's
pretty
okay.
pointless to clarify.
It's cute. I think you did say earth-shattering.
But what's interesting about that is we're kind of talking about right now 2020. Like, that's how 2020 was. But, like, and that started to change after we got COVID. And then in between that time and right now has been one fucking year.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, dude? Like, this week, it'll also be 1 year since the Capitol insurrection.
Oh my god.
The storming of the Capitol.
Forgot about that.
That was January 6th.
Oh, God.
And the 1 year anniversary of the podcast, January 7th.
Related events.
We probably didn't even mention that on the podcast. We probably didn't even acknowledge it.
Why would we have talked about that?
Well, now I feel like we talk about whatever we want, but I think at the time we were like really like uptight.
Yeah, maybe.
That's true. Why would we talk about that? There definitely isn't a lot of QAnon content on this podcast.
We should keep it that way.
Or any content or commentating about the
politics in general, merely.
Yeah, there isn't. That's actually true. We definitely don't talk a ton about politics. Anywho. But yeah, I feel like this has been really emotional because there's been a lot of impact about COVID. But this year, like, everything on my list that I wrote down was just like, me and Theo.
No.
Me and Theo did this. We did that. We did this. We went here.
Yeah, we did a lot this year.
Really? Like, there was very few bullet points that were just things I did or things that related to my family. There was some, but it was all me and you.
There was a lot that happened with your family this year, too.
That's true.
I was there for some of it, but...
Yeah.
You guys did a lot, too.
Definitely.
There were a lot of monumental moments for your family this year, too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if... I'm not like... How should I go into this?
I don't know.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what do you...
Well, no, there's... the things that have... Some of the more wild things that have happened this year have been the 3 or 4 COVID outbreaks that I have been directly a party to. Or, like, not
4?
like... by now, yeah.
Really? No.
No, this is 3. 3.
This year?
The most recent one was the 3rd COVID outbreak directly relating to my circle of people.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The first one was when we got COVID.
Oh, yeah.
The second one, I don't want to get it too into... Actually, I shouldn't talk about the real timelines here. Just because...
Yeah.
Let's not get into that too much. I feel weird right now.
Really?
Yeah. You don't feel weird? I was projecting onto you that you felt weird, which is why I said that I did, because I thought that you did.
No. I feel like talking about COVID makes me feel weird, but it wasn't
Sorry.
It's okay. It was an important part of the past couple of years. I just don't think it was the most important part. But it definitely shaped everything else. So I feel like for me, 2021, like 2020 was just kind of like a hunkering down, like absorbing the impact trauma year, basically, for like everything that was going on. And 2021 has been trying to recontextualize my place in the world in a, I don't even want to say post-COVID society because it's still happening, but like figuring out how my life is going to look after accepting that it's not going to look like that anymore, you know, and turning it into something that I like, which has been good. It's been very transitional. And I think I've been like struggling all year in some way, but not in a way where it was a bad year, just like I was putting a lot of work in, and so were you. And 2022, hopefully I'll be able to reap some of the benefits of that and not have to be like as unstable. Like I moved a handful of times this past year. I've had like 4 different jobs this past year. I've had a bunch of random things hit me, like Milo having to go to the vet and that being like a couple $1,000s all of a sudden.
So scary.
Yeah, like a bunch of random financial things and like medical things kept popping up, but all of them ended up fine. It's just been a very tumultuous year. And I feel like every time we record, I'm talking about how I'm like exhausted and how I like feel like I'm not contributing as much as I want to. And that is really the reason why. There's just been so much shit going on. But it's kind of starting to lull now. And I've started also exploring new things, like cooking a lot, like we were talking about in the last episode, or like meeting new people or doing new things. So, I don't know. Overall, it's been good.
I agree. Do you feel like 2021 kicked your ass at all?
Yeah.
You do?
I think 2020 was also kicking my ass, but the difference was I just didn't do anything about it. I was just like, fuck it.
It was just, well, because, like, I think in 2020 there was just, like, the very real possibility mentally that this was the real end.
Yeah.
It was just like, holy shit. Like, wait a second. Am I going to die?
The funny thing about it, too, it's, like, not even funny, but it's, like, COVID itself, the actual pandemic wasn't the reason it felt like that. It's because the president started mailing me, like, $1,000 a week. And I was like, this is it. We're toast.
Donald Trump, baby.
Can you fucking believe that motherfucker?
Fuck him. I wonder if we've ever even talked about Trump that much on the podcast.
I don't want to.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck off, Trump. Piece of shit. But yeah, it was definitely just like chaotic hedonism shit for like a lot of the world.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck it. Who knows what's gonna happen? Reading back on some of my journals from earlier this year, I had very different anxieties than I do right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was worrying about definitely some random things that I don't know, maybe this is like awkward to get like super personal about, but like, you know, I was writing about like our relationship a lot.
Yeah.
Too, because oh my god, I'm like, this is like very, very open of me.
You don't have to.
No, it's okay. As long as it's not weird for you or anything. But like, how do I do this? Beep, beep, boop, bop, bop, boop. Well,
what are you about to say?
Our relationship, we didn't have like a real solidified shared vision of what our relationship was. We were very secure in the fact that we cared about each other and we loved each other and that we were great friends.
Yeah.
But what that would look like, or what we called that, or what that really meant was very hard to articulate at the time. So it was very much it weighed deeply and heavily on me.
Really?
It did, yeah, all the time. But I didn't want, like, we talked about it a lot, but I didn't, like, you know, not in some kind of way that I was having a crisis about it. But in a way, like, in a very, like, I don't know what it all means, who I am, what I want to be.
Yeah. There were a lot of moving parts.
Because, like, what's very weird about right now, this point in my life, and I think you share this feeling, maybe you don't think it's weird, but I think it's weird, that I feel really confident about what I want. I don't actually have what I want. But for the first time in a very long time, I do legitimately know what I want.
Me too.
Out of my life and my future.
Yeah.
It's very unusual for me.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, that's true. I feel the same way.
I think a lot of that comes from you.
Really?
In our discussions. Yeah. I mean, like,
I was going to say that's kind of... Well, it's not a new thing for me, really. Like, I've always been kind of a goal-driven person, but usually they're very short-term goals. And I feel like I have, like, kind of like a 5 to 10 year list of plans. Which, like, if they fall through, fuck it, but...
You know, I mean, being goal-oriented is, like, doesn't come naturally to me. You know, which has been a running theme through a lot of my life, but... But I feel a little more goal-oriented right now. You know what? I found my list of my New Year's resolutions and my 2021 goals.
Oh, yeah? Did you accomplish them?
Dude, they were so stupid. My goals were... You know what one of my goals was?
What?
It's to get really, really good at skateboarding.
You did that.
Yeah, but, like, I didn't write down anything like, oh, I want to, like, save money and get a stable job and, Like, I don't know what, like, I was like, I want to get sick at skateboarding. One of them was, I want to make more vinyl stickers. Like, what the fuck was, like, I don't know. It was right at the time. It was, like, the right thing to write down at the time, but, like, they were very weird goals.
That's okay. Why do your goals have to be financially rooted?
Well, they don't have to be financially rooted, but I feel like I didn't have any practical life goals at all.
All right, the vinyl sticker one, I'll give you that. Maybe you shouldn't have made the cut for the New Year's resolution list.
I wish I remembered all of them, but that was one of the highlights.
I think this skateboarding counts. I don't care.
Yeah, I guess if you consider it, like, had I written down basketball or weightlifting,
yeah,
it probably would have
completely valid.
Yeah,
you just feel silly about that.
I do. And, like, my journals also, I was journaling about skateboarding all the time.
Yeah.
You'd probably, if you listen back to podcast episodes from that time, I was probably only talking about skateboarding on the podcast.
As your co-host, I can confirm.
Yeah, I was
You're
very...
really, really into it. You're still really, really into it, but you were, like, laser focused on skateboarding for a couple of months there. I think it was good. It was an outlet that you needed.
Yeah. I think I was in I think it saved me from having a real crisis.
Yeah.
A real crisis.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Because something that I didn't really know about me until 2021, I think, really solidified it. But I mean, like, you know this about me. I know this about me. Like a lot of people, I was raised, playing sports or being incredibly active. Like, my mom... when I would be in the house running around as a little kid, every single day, it was go outside, get outside, get the fuck out, go run around, get out. Like, because all the kids were all incredibly annoying and stuff. And
there were a lot of you.
Yeah, so we would just run around outside. So, but throughout my teenage years and early 20s, I smoked heavily. But then I quit smoking at the end of 2019. Completely. No vaping, no cigarettes, nothing. So then through 2020 and into 2021, maybe not completely, but I feel like my lungs and my endurance and my physical capabilities are almost completely restored.
That's amazing.
Maybe that's not true. I have no idea. But, like, I could definitely run right now for, like, maybe a good amount of time. I could be active for, like, a long... but when, like a few years ago, if I jogged... or if I ran up a flight of stairs too fast, it felt like I had thorns in my lungs.
Yeah. Huh.
So, and I think, and also I was incredibly depressed and fucked up at that time too.
In 2019?
2016, 17, 18, 19, yeah. A lot of that time, yeah, I was very fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I didn't exercise at all. For maybe 7 years.
I don't know how you managed that. Because the thing is, you started skating... I knew you for a good while before you were doing it actively all the time. But knowing you in person, because I met you after a few months of us having been friends, was around the same time that you started skating. Consistently. And I can't imagine what you would be like if you weren't exercising all the time, because sometimes you just get into a mood and I make you go skate and then you're fine. Sometimes you're just not doing good and it's just because you didn't exercise.
It really is it's so weird. And
it's not like you're an asshole or anything, but
it's
just pent up energy,
Yeah.
Sometimes you're kind of an asshole.
Sometimes I'm an asshole.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
You're never an asshole.
You're only saying
very nice
you're only saying just kidding because we're recording.
I was thinking about that. I said that on the last episode. I felt so fucking bad that I said that.
Because you said it on the recording.
I was just fucking around. But
I know, I love you. For the people listening, if you ever hear us say something like that, you're an asshole, this or that, we talk to each other like that. We love each other, and we both know we're just kidding.
Oh God!
So we don't give each other personal attacks. It's all loving.
Not on the air.
It's all very loving. No, not even off the air. That's just.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Sorry.
But yeah, so yeah, you don't have to backpedal.
Well, I just felt bad about it. I feel like it was a weird thing to say. Public apology.
Public apology. I called Brian an asshole on the podcast. Anyway.
What the fuck? I don't remember what I'm even talking about. I'm like The Walking Dead right now.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Some other things we did in 2021 was visit like 7,000 different cemeteries.
A good portion of waterfalls too, although some of that was 2020.
Waterfalls and cemeteries. We went to Dunes Falls.
Was Buttermilk in 2020? Yes, it was October.
Yeah, Buttermilk Falls in Vermont. Good spot if you ever... I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Just immediately nuked that.
Great job. Yeah, if you're ever in Vermont. No one's ever going to go there from this recommendation.
Why not? Go to Buttermilk Falls. It's like an hour and a half away. It's the coolest place ever. You can sit literally on the edge of the waterfall. We went there and there was a girl doing yoga and we were just really loudly talking, being like, oh, fuck, and like falling
right
down on stuff, and she left, so then we got to sit at the top of the waterfall because we harshed her vibe. Yeah,
she had this like absolutely beautiful, serene like perch on top of a rock over a waterfall that was probably easily like 30, 40 feet. Like it was like it was definitely a pretty high waterfall.
Yeah, she was meditating.
Yeah, and then we totally fucked up her vibe.
We didn't mean to, but we were throwing sticks off the waterfall just to see.
Just to like see. Just to throw sticks into the waterfall.
I don't think she liked it. She left.
Yeah, but then we got the cool spot.
Yeah.
Man, that was such a nice fucking time.
I got a really cool picture of you from that day.
I think I got a good picture of you too.
Yeah, you did actually.
You know what I really love about our relationship?
What? That we're both super photogenic.
That we're both beautiful. That's it. That's what I was saying.
I agree.
No, that isn't what I was saying. But
I mean, I don't think it's true.
No, but okay. Have you ever hung out with somebody or had like a friendship with somebody?
Yeah.
Where you would take really good photos of them?
Oh my god.
But they never took photos of you ever? Or if they did, it was dog shit?
They were just like horrible, unflattering pictures.
Dude, I have literally almost never, like I've had 0 friendships or relationships where I hung out with somebody that took cool pictures of me. And that's like a silly thing to like to think is really important. But you do, and I think that's awesome. And I think I've definitely like improved on my pictures of you, I think. I think it was a bit of a learning curve to get the type of photos that you liked.
You take good pictures of me.
I think it was an acquired skill.
The thing that's tough about photos of somebody that you love is that your photos of them that you like show the lens through which you see them. And I feel like I often find that like the photos of me that I like are ones where I look like Instagrammy and like sexy. But usually people that care about me will take photos where I look like cute or like funny, and I'm like, ew. Like, delete that right now.
You know what's funny? Yeah, you take pictures of me where I look very like soft and tired.
Oh.
And like I'm like a sleeping like angel. Like that's the type of photos that you take of me.
I've posted pictures on my Instagram of you asleep before.
I know. So those are the pictures of me that you like. But you do take pictures, like I feel like you also know what type of pictures of me I like. Because like I don't like pictures of me that look like sleeping cherubs.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make me feel like cool and like.
You like pictures of you where you look kind of like badass, a little bit gritty.
All right, cool. Thanks for fucking calling it. What do you mean? Did you say greedy?
Gritty.
Yeah. I like a good serious faced candid. I like when it's like I like a good candid photo of myself where I look
like when you do the like.
Yeah, like I'm like
the squinty thing.
Like I'm like thinking very deeply about something very interesting and serious.
But the face you make in photos where you're doing that is not the face you make when you're thinking really deeply and seriously.
Interesting.
The face you make when you're actually really thinking about something is like your eyes get really wide and you like stare daggers into a random spot on the horizon. Yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah, but when I'm like, I'm going to make a face as if I'm thinking. Yeah, I make like a TikTok hot guy face. Not a good look.
No, it's cute.
Like a buff Squidward face.
Stop it!
That's me.
My photo face is not good either. I feel like I
No,
make
you
the
have a good
same
one.
photo face that I've always made.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
This is an episode about nothing.
It's not. We're talking about 2021, man. Because,
Oh, yeah.
here's the thing. We came back to the South Shore in September.
No. Well, you did. I came back in July.
Oh, you came back a little earlier then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so you were back a month earlier because I came back technically late August.
Yeah, I moved back. Well, I was gonna wait until September, but then my apartment fell through.
And your process was expedited by something that I forgot you did, but I remembered it because I wrote it in my journal. But you brought Milo back to Plymouth like a month before you came back.
Why did I do that? There was a reason.
Honestly, I think stuff was just getting kind of hectic at your apartment.
Oh, my fucking horrible roommates. I didn't talk about them on the podcast before. I don't know why, but at the time I didn't want to discuss any of this stuff because it was so stressful to me that I didn't really highlight it.
Right.
But I had a living situation. I kind of talked about this, I think, at the time, but I had roommates that I didn't know, and they would just change. Like, my landlord would just have someone move out and move someone else in without consulting any of us or telling us. So I would go home one day, and someone's room would just be empty, and I'd be like, okay, what the fuck? And then, 2 days later, some random other person would be there. And it was never people in the same age group, never the same lifestyle. We didn't even speak the same languages. I was in an apartment one time with people that only spoke Russian. I was the only one who spoke English. And none of them liked me or wanted to communicate with me. And I had a cat in my room that was only indoor. And they used to leave the door open all the time. I came home one day, and there was the smell of cat pee in the front yard, in the front, stairwell, which my cat wasn't supposed to have access to. And when I'd left, my door was closed. And when I came back, my door was closed. My cat was in my room. But it was really obvious, because I was the only one in the entire complex that had a cat, that someone had let him out of my room, which meant they went in my room and left him there and then realized it and hid him again while I was at work. And I just had no way of knowing who did it or what happened. So I brought my cat home early.
And to corroborate your story in a different set of words, there was just a lot of ominous implications and evidence that some fishy weird shit was going on.
Somebody was definitely going in my room.
Yeah, we think somebody went in your room or was going in your room, or at the very least something happened where somebody let your cat out of your room, and he may have peed in the stairwell because he couldn't get back in.
Yeah. I don't know. That makes me mad to think about, but
I could tell.
yeah, it was the worst roommate situation I've ever had, because I thought that I was going to be moving into a place where people didn't really talk very much and everyone just did their own thing, which was true, but also there was just this one girl who hated everybody. But I don't know, bad times. So I was living there, and then I found out that the landlord sold the building and didn't tell anybody. And I found out because I was in my bed after having taken a shower, and someone knocks on the door of my bedroom, which by the way, was a glass door with paper covering the glass.
Was this when I was in bed?
Yeah, when you were sleeping in my house. It was a Wednesday night, and I had just showered. I'm in my underwear, and I go to answer the door because I think it's my roommate, and it's a photographer and the landlord and a realtor. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Douchebags.
And they said, you need to leave your room. We're going to take photos. It doesn't matter if it's a mess. And I said, no. And I closed the door.
Those people were such fucking shitty people.
Well, that's how I found out I was getting evicted, because apparently the person I was subletting from and the people that were on the original lease were getting evicted, and they already had been before I was subletting, and I didn't know that. So long story short, that's how Theo got priced out of Boston, because I couldn't figure it out fast enough to stay. But I'll be back. The rental market now is fucking crazy, though, honestly. It's changed so much even in the last 2 years. And it was expensive 2 years ago.
It's probably going to keep changing.
You used to be able to find a room with utilities and pets allowed for $600. That's not a thing now.
Right. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, you could still find something like that, and it'll be mega dog shit. Also, I think my apartment was only in that price range because I was so far from the train and bus.
Yeah.
Versus the place you were at was like in the thick of it.
That's true.
Was like a way better location in terms of like public infrastructure.
That's true.
I feel like you had like real legitimate things that you had to like take care of and worry about in like most of 2021. But meanwhile I was like, I need to get my kickflips consistent.
That's not true.
Like, I don't know. It was definitely hard. I feel it. Yeah.
I had no more or less real responsibilities than you did, except for that I had a job at Trader Joe's.
Right.
Which was all of like 9 months.
Right. And actually, I just remembered why I started talking about COVID in the beginning. It's because when we were quarantined in my apartment, was when you got that job.
Yeah.
You felt compelled to rejoin the workforce post quarantine for personal reasons, or because you felt like that was the right choice for you, which led you to that job.
I was panicking because I thought that I was going to run out of money. But then pandemic unemployment got extended, and I just clowned myself and had a full-time job for no reason, and then pandemic unemployment ended and I was stuck.
Fuck.
But it's fine. I made some good friends. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, I think I mentioned this last episode, I applied at Trader Joe's and they didn't even consider me for employment.
That's not 100% of what happened. You said you asked a bunch of very straightforward questions, weren't excited about the interview at all, and then said, if you don't give me $18 an hour, I'm not interested. With no experience.
I don't know how to use a cash register.
So, I don't know what you expected.
I kind of treated it like a mock interview, which is a really like douchebag. I almost feel like a privileged jerk for saying that. But I basically was absolutely not going to take the job and wanted to, like, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who has gotten absolutely shit on and made horrible negotiations in almost every job interview I've ever had, and just accepted horrible pay and horrible conditions without advocating for myself.
This job I have right now is the only time I've ever advocated for pay.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do with that interview, where I was like, I'm not going to accept anything. Like, I'm just going to, like, actually whatever. Like, I wanted to, like, advocate for myself and ask real questions and get real information about what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And I think it made me not get the job.
Well,
Which is a good thing.
It is, because they weren't able to give you what you were negotiating for. But you also probably would have done a better job if you actually cared about the job.
I also completely self-sabotaged.
That's the part that you're overlooking, and saying that they don't want you as an employee at all.
That's true. I was kind of subconsciously just trying to make myself sound cool.
Have we talked on the podcast about the time that you interviewed at the old age home?
Oh my god, yeah, that was so funny. That was right before. That was actually when COVID got announced and everyone knew about it, but they didn't do a mandatory quarantine yet. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed for a place that was taking care of people with Alzheimer's, or like, I forget what the actual field is called, or if it's like direct care. Wow, that was a big vape cloud from that guy.
Peacoat vape guy with creepers.
Peacoat vape cloud.
That's a niche.
I've been that guy. I can't judge him that
badly. That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That I used to vape?
Yeah.
I used to really fucking vape, dude. I vaped because I think I literally, so like 2016, 17, I think I vaped for like literally like 3.5 years.
Do you know what time this
like
place closes?
Full time, 40 hours a week.
40 hours a week?
Yeah, I think like 10, but we want to double check maybe? Maybe like Google it.
Because if I don't buy pants for me to wear to work tomorrow, I'm fucked.
Okay. We could go in ASAP.
How long?
Only 3 minutes.
Not true.
This episode's 3 minutes long.
Not true.
Not true. We're just coming up on 45 minutes of recording.
Nice. They're open until 10. Is today
good.
Thursday? Yes. We can't be here till 10, though, because I gotta
Of
go
course
to sleep.
not. Never.
Sleep.
Oh, yeah, but that interview, I basically... they asked me... This was like a really embarrassing comment that I made that I don't actually... This isn't true, but I made myself sound horrible, basically. But they asked me what personal connection I had to people with suffering from dementia. What personal feelings I had about that or something. And I said I have no emotional attachment or interest or something like that to people with that condition. And that was...
How do you feel about people with dementia?
But what I was trying to say was that, oh yeah, like I thought I was trying to say like, yeah, like I, you know, feel like I will have definitely big like emotional boundaries and I'll be very professional and not like personally attached or affected. Like I'm going to, you know, and that's what I thought I was saying. But I think I just made it sound like I was like a weirdo. Like, I don't give a fuck. But, like, obviously I seriously care about that and people struggling with that literally, like, tragic condition. You know, so, anyway. That definitely wouldn't have been a good fit for me because I definitely am not equipped to do a job like that.
See, that's what I'm trying to say, though, is like...
I was definitely applying for the wildly wrong type of thing.
Which I think was also true of you applying to this job.
Trader Joe's?
Yeah, like, don't fucking go through the whole interview process if you know you don't want it, and then say that you're a bad interview candidate that they didn't pick.
Okay.
Like, what are you doing?
Maybe I was kind of lying. Maybe I was stretching the truth. I did just have a very good job interview in a real job that I actually want.
That's exciting.
I don't want to share too much about it because I don't want to jinx myself. It was addiction treatment. I interviewed at an addiction treatment type place, which is a field that I understand in a deep way. So I think I have a pretty good chance of getting that job.
That's a big deal for you, too, because it's been a couple of years since you've had, like, a regular, like, punch-in, punch-out job.
Yes. I have been vocationally transient. It's a weird way of putting it. But, I mean, I think something I accepted, like, literally, like, a year and a half ago, but, like, just have been dragging out, taking action on this fact, is that making money off of art in the way I did before the pandemic just isn't going to happen anytime soon again.
Yeah.
Like, those modes of distribution and with shows, like, on a regular basis, or having my art in front of people literally every single day. Not a thing. Not a thing right now. Probably not a thing in the future. And what I feel most invested in terms of content and art distribution is the podcast, and other things like that.
And to continue to create things like that without detracting from the quality of your life and future.
Exactly, yeah.
Job.
Right.
That's where I'm at, too. That is why I'm in the position I'm in.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm gonna obviously continue to keep making canvases and paintings and shit like that forever.
Yeah.
And I still do that, like a probably too high of a volume, like, because that's just what I love to do. But, constantly worrying about trying to sell paintings all the time, or like making like sales quotas imposed upon by myself through shows isn't going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Even before fucking Omicron. You know what I'm saying? Like, what like the Boston art market scene, if you were in Boston, directly related to DIY arts before the pandemic, you remember the amount of markets and vendors and the amount of people making DIY crafts and different like homemade shit, people that were killing it. Like, I knew a lot of people that were fucking this is a very cliche phrase, but crushing it with their shit before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't just some, like, I don't know. I was not the only one that was, making, like, some, like a little bit of money selling art.
Yeah.
A lot of people were doing really, like, fairly well, I think.
Yeah.
I knew some people that were making a fucking killing.
And that'll come back. And I think it is back for some people, but I think the thing about it, speaking personally, is I enjoy doing that stuff better when I already have the traction under my feet. And there's been such a lull for such an extended period of time at this point that I need a financial safety net to have the passion to keep drumming up new ideas and new business,
Hell yeah.
Like, you don't want to be tied down to old concepts or old projects because of, like, grocery money. Right. You want to have that on lock if you can.
Yeah, seriously. And for people listening, I'm not talking, I know you know this for sure, but, like, for the people listening that might not know what we're talking about, like, when I quit my last job and just, like, did just selling art and shit, I had worked for, like, 2.5 years full time at a specific, and like, saving literally everything until I had a nest egg to jumpstart selling art like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing was from scratch. And, like, the concept of being self-made from nothing is fake.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. Unless you, like, bartered, like, trading a rubber band for a paper clip all the way up to, like, having money, like, you didn't self-make. Anyway, that's, like, a totally fucking ridiculous concept. I mean, topic to get into.
I fucking love when you're in a parking lot and the person in front of you or behind you just turns on their high beams while you're in your car. That's great and very useful while you're parked in a spot.
Go fuck yourself, douche canoe. Yeah, we can wrap this up soon if you want. But, I don't know, man. Times are changing. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But I know... it's so weird. What an interesting flip. For most of my life, I've loved where I was, but had no idea where I wanted to be. But right now, I have no idea where I am, but know where I want to be.
Yeah. Me too.
Like, I don't recognize who I am right now.
I think that's kind of akin to what I was saying earlier about 2020 versus 2021. Like, I feel like 2020 for me was a lot of mourning who I was before March. And, like, waiting for the opportunity to be that person to come back until enough time had gone by that I really just realized that was not happening again. And then 2021, I think, has been me taking action on that and being like, all right, well, if all that was preconceived is now dead, what is next?
What is next? I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you ever heard that stupid thing? Like, I don't know where I heard this, but I heard somebody say it one time about, like, being famous, and it's, like, probably fake and not something you should base your life off of at all. Mm-hmm. But people say something like, you either make it when you're 20 or you make it when you're, like, 50.
That makes sense to me.
It totally does, like, right? Like, doesn't that, like, completely make sense? And, like, I remember when I was a kid, this is, like, such an immature, stupid thing to think, but, like, when I was, like, 16, I used to be like, if I'm not a famous rock star by the time I'm 18, then I'm a loser.
Oh.
Or I'd be like, my favorite band, the Wonder Years, were touring by the time they graduated college, but I'm not. Which is, like, so dumb, and I didn't graduate college. But, like, it's so unbelievably, like, unhelpful to compare your timeline to other people, especially people you don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my point in saying that is, like, me and you have had many private conversations about this, but I think that it would be so lit to just have a good life, work hard, and do my thing, and keep making my art. Fucking high beam piece of shit. And have a fucking awesome life when I'm a middle-aged adult.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 26 right now, so it's socially acceptable for me to be a loser, kind of. Even though I'm not a loser.
You're being very hard on yourself.
Whatever. But I'm saying economically. Like, I'm saying it's, like, socially acceptable and everyone's okay. Like, oh, yeah, you're 26. It's okay if you're fucking dumb or whatever. But, like, if I don't know. I feel like I have a massive advantage of being somebody who doesn't party. So I'm not, like, wasting my life drinking right now.
Yeah.
Which is something most people are doing in their mid-20s. I'm losing track of what I'm saying right now. But I feel like, man, if we just fucking, like, I don't fucking know. We're gonna have a dope life in the future. And I fully believe that. But right now, it's shit eating time.
I agree with that. I also would go as far as to say, though, that I am not content with the idea of being, like, suffering until I'm 50 to make 50 great. I'm not doing that shit. I am putting my ducks in a row right now so that things will be good in 6 months.
Well, I completely agree with that too. I think the exact same thing. I meant, like, in a hypothetical. I totally don't mean eating shit till I'm 50. I don't want to do that. That's not what I didn't mean to convey that.
I feel tired.
Yeah, no, I don't mean, I'm going to fucking suffer and then when I retire, my life will be great. That's not what I'm saying at all.
I mean, that is a game plan.
Yeah, but that's absolutely not my game plan. As my dad informed me recently, I have not been paying into Social Security at all. And that I immediately need to get a job so that I can get Social Security checks when I'm an old person.
I mean, you only
He's very concerned about that. Because my dad, you know, many people listening will relate, you know, working class, blue collar dad that worked fucking like under the table or for himself or running a cash business in the trades for like most of his adult life. A guy like that definitely wishes he paid into Social Security. You know what I mean?
You should get a 401k.
Right, but I mean me, like, yeah, if you're talking to me, yes, but for guys like that throughout the 80s and 90s, like, they probably didn't know what the fuck a 401k was. You know? I don't know. I'm getting, like, wicked weird in my head right now, all stuck in my head right now, because I feel like I'm annoying you.
You're not annoying.
Sorry for putting you on the spot on the podcast.
It's okay.
Just in case you were annoyed, I feel like if you were actually annoyed with me, that would have been a weird thing. Like, you would have been like, well, actually, I am actually kind of annoyed with you.
And that would have been healthy communication on both of our parts, and we would have been able to address it.
Okay, I just feel like I'm like saying a bunch of stupid stuff and pissing you off.
No, you're not.
Okay,
I'm just tired. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's totally
I feel like I'm not emoting as much as I normally do. I feel like when I'm tired, I sound like I'm pissed off because my voice is very flat and, like, deeper than normal. And I don't react to things for, like, a good 3 seconds after they happen. But I'm not mad at you, I promise. I think these are all very good points.
Cool.
I was going on a different tangent in my head, though.
With 401ks?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
This is me at the end of a, like, 50-hour work week where I've been doing only finance stuff. This fucking dude parked behind us has turned his high beams on and off 3 times in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, and I'm going to get out of my car and punch him in the throat.
Maybe you could punch him in the face instead.
I feel like the throat would be more shocking.
It would definitely be more graphic visually. Like, imagine, like, if you just, like, imagine, like, seeing somebody get punched, like, in their actual neck.
I don't think I'm capable of punching another person. I think I would either hurt my wrist or I would pull my punch at the last second and start saying sorry, and I wouldn't cause any harm, and then it would just be awkward and embarrassing for everybody involved.
Well, most people that punch people are, like, wildly antisocial and, like, chronically in prison. So, it's probably good to not punch people. Don't punch people.
Well, this dude, though.
If you're going to take anything from this podcast right now, it's stop punching people.
And get a 401k.
Don't punch people, get a 401k.
I don't know if I totally agree that you should be dependent on Social Security.
Well, I don't fucking agree with that either, but my dad's like a boomer. From fucking the 20... Like, he's, like, not... He does not have the same belief as me about... you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying... I didn't mean to say... I feel like I just sounded like such a douche. Like, oh, he's a fucking boomer. He doesn't know what the fuck he's saying. But I'm saying he's from a very different generation. And he's an insanely practical... Like, he didn't go to college. He's very smart, but he didn't go to college. He's worked in the same trade since he was 16. So, you know, his outlook on life is way, way different than mine.
Yeah.
Possibly a better outlook than me. Most likely. But, you know, he's like a real, like, blue-collar laborer. And I'm just like, I'm like literally the stereotypical idiot, artistic son of a tradesman. That's funny. It's such a stereotype. Like, I was at AutoZone recently, and I saw a guy walking in with his son, and it was such a weird thing because the guy's son was clearly like 18, completely miserable, didn't want to be there, and was like kind of emo looking and like alty. But the thing is he had the exact same face as his boomer dad.
Oh.
So it was basically just like a boomer old guy with a tiny emo clone of himself that he was forcing to be at AutoZone with him. Oh. And I was just like, man, like I can relate so much.
Oh.
It's like
really
I love my father. I don't think that he's like a douchebag or anything like that. I'm not talking shit about my dad, but like he's definitely like he's definitely from a different generation and different world.
I feel like it'd be so funny to do it. I've already talked about this, and every time it might not be the vibe, but I want to do an interview with your dad so bad about your art. I think that would be so interesting.
That would suck.
I think that would be so fucking great. That would be so good.
Oh, Bri, you paint. Wow.
You could do one with my parents.
Was that like a...
How about we do one where I interview your parents about your art, and you interview my parents about my art?
That does not... Like...
I think it would be cute.
Like, if someone else did that, I would watch it.
If it was like a cut video with just your mom.
Yeah, like the cut, but not... I don't want to... like that...
No, you're not there. I do it.
Oh, you interview my parents?
Yeah.
About my art?
About what it was like to be your parent while you were doing art stuff.
Oh, my Lord.
Or vice versa.
And then I interview your parents about you.
Yeah, and then we have a third segment where it's like the cut where we get a like gravity bong and we have our parents do a round table about it.
Do a gravity bong with our parents?
No, we're not there.
Well, I don't... No.
Never mind.
My dad does not drink. I don't think he would hit a gravity bong for a podcast
My dad
episode.
does not drink. Neither does mine.
I know.
Nobody's dad drinks anymore.
Sober tradesman dads. That should be like a band name.
That'd be a terrible band name.
I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Work dads would be a good band name.
That'd be pretty good.
Like work dogs. Work dads.
Work dads might be work dogs might be good.
Work dogs?
Yeah.
No.
A horrible band name.
You ruined it.
I ruined it. Great. Jerk.
Why are you calling me names on the podcast? Are you trying to show off in front of your friends?
Yeah. Sorry.
Trevor doesn't think you're cool.
You can't you can't do that.
Why?
You can't talk about Trevor.
Oh my god, I was thinking for one of our year-end things, we should count how many times we shouted out Trevor.
Or make a compilation.
And then I was like, that's so much work. And then I was like, I bet Trevor would know how many episodes we've shouted Trevor out on.
You know what I think's funny about that is that the main reason that we keep doing it constantly is because it's basically like a weird meme at this point.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, like because we've done it so many times that now we're at a point where it would be weird if we stopped. You know what I mean?
We just never mentioned him again.
See, yeah.
I think the thing that's funny about it is that it's only Trevor.
Right.
Like, we are lucky enough, and, like, I'm very grateful for this, but we have a decent portion of people now that we're close with that listen to our podcast often, and we appreciate all of them.
We have a good core
I think
group.
For me, the reason that I always shout out Trevor is, A, because we always do it and it's funny, but also because when we first started the podcast and I was still wicked insecure about it, we had, like, no listeners. Trevor was, like, the first person we actually knew that was like, you guys are doing a good job.
That's true, which was, yeah.
Be sad.
It's pretty vital.
It was vital, yeah.
Because, dude, like, I don't know if anybody listening understands, like, the gravity of this, but the fact that me and you, like, let me just, like, this is, like, true for you and maybe different ways, too, but, like, I have tried to create a consistent digital media project similar to this one like a million fucking times. And they always fucking fail, flop, or fizzle out.
Yeah.
Every time, whether it was YouTube, a solo podcast, trying to start videos, whatever it is. But the fact that this one is just so legit, so consistent, and so fun to make is literally like one of the like one of my proudest accomplishments. So
it's because of me.
Honestly, you like this wouldn't
I'm just
exist.
kidding, I'm just
I've
kidding.
tried to do this type of thing alone so many times that like me and you like.
I used to listen to your other podcast.
Yeah, but it was just not. It was a completely wildly different thing every time I did it. It was sporadic. It was not like it was just not a thing. Like this has like a real. Like it has a real consistency to it.
Yeah.
It has I forget what the word I'm looking for is. Like
a genre?
It has a genre, like it isn't like a kind of we're like slowly building our own lore as well. Like we're building like a real universe and and like an anthology of information collected by us.
Yeah. And
like that is a fucking awesome thing.
That is really cool.
IMO. Like this is the type of thing that I want to do. Like, and like, you know, I don't think we should stop. I hope we don't ever stop. But if we did, even if we just left it exactly how it is now.
It's already a year worth of recordings.
Yeah, it's an awesome fucking thing that we've done. And I'm really proud of that, you know?
Me too.
So, I don't fucking know. We still have to do next week the year's end fucking episode that we had planned. Should we talk about what our idea for the episode is?
No, I want to talk to you about that. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
So we'll make
I want to talk to you about that off the air because I don't want to spoil it. We can't spoil our own episode.
Okay. So do you want to wrap this up so we can like just finish up going to the place and then go home?
Yeah, I want to give you some octopus.
What?
I had octopus today and I have leftovers.
Oh, food.
It's like if chicken was shrimp.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
I'll
try
shrimp
some.
Was chicken. I felt sort of bad about eating it, and then I was like, I'm not even vegan.
What did you just say?
I want to give you octopus.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into Target.
Okay.
Oh shit! I revealed what we were doing.
Fuck.
Just kidding. Anyway, okay, so beep beep boop bop beep boop bop boop boop boop. Anything else that you'd like to say about your personal experience of 2021?
Should we wrap it up with some personal New Year's resolutions? Because I have a few.
Sure, whatever you want.
I have some financial New Year's resolutions. Most of my New Year's resolutions right now are actually kind of financial because I decided that I'm hunkering down right now. I do this thing where I'll, like, do whatever I want for a good portion of time, then go completely bankrupt, and then I just work, like, 3 jobs for, like, a year, and then I do what I own thing again, which isn't super healthy. So I'm trying to create a more consistent flow of income that doesn't make me want to die. And I've built a general structure at this point, and now I'm just kind of stabilizing things and putting things where they need to go. So I'd like to continue to build on that and learn about, like, how investing works and how, like, budgeting, like, real budgeting, not just, like, saving up for rent and making everything else works. And, like, just kind of create a stable financial situation for myself to prep my late 20s and 30s to be whatever I want them to be instead of just me making ends meet. So that's a thing that I'm trying to get the ball rolling in this year. That's kind of boring, but that's a big one. I want to learn a language because I work in a small city right now with a population of a lot of people that speak a lot of different languages, and working customer service job there is really cool because I'm picking up, like, words from a bunch of different languages, but I don't really have fluency in anything but English, so I would like to try and pick up at least, like, Spanish or something. That's another goal for this year that I think is kind of attainable if I really put some work into it, because I'm in an environment where people around me speak fluently, like Spanish and Portuguese and a bunch of other languages. So that would be cool. And I want to make a concerted effort
to get comfortable being social again, because I've always been somebody that really went out of their way to make groups of people happen and like throw events and hang out with groups of friends and introduce people to one another. But I've always had really bad social anxiety at the same time that I just kind of ignored for the sake of doing what would be fun. But the pandemic really fucked with me, honestly, because I had a year or so where I didn't hang out with anybody except for my roommates. And now I hang out with you all the time, which is really great. But the thing that I'm realizing is that there is a part of me that is completely content to just stay like that. And I don't really have to at this point, within reason. But I'm acknowledging a reticence to actually hang out with my friends to a point where I make plans with people and then just completely don't go. Or like things just don't work out over and over and over again. And I'm starting to realize that it's not the pandemic's fault anymore. So another goal for 2021 is to break that wall back down, because I really love hanging out with people and I really miss hanging out with my friends every day. So I'm going to try and bring myself back on the radar and just kind of call it what it is, that it's just really bad social anxiety.
Dude, I agree with that. I share all of that. I vibe with that.
You vibe?
Yeah, I agree completely.
The vibe is good.
Yeah, that's like my goals completely align with those. I think with definitely some different like nuances. Like one thing that I really want to square away this year or kind of chip away at is I have ADHD in like a really serious way.
Same.
And I'm also completely unwilling to medicate myself. So, which kind of leaves me between a rock and a hard place where I'm going to have to just fucking figure it out. But something that I keep fucking doing to myself, that is the reason that I was talking about like how the last few months of my life have been kind of wasted in some ways, is that I am completely willing to, and it's like I could literally play Minecraft and listen to a podcasts I could literally do that for 8 hours and feel nothing. It would be like I took a sip of water. Like it's just nothing to me. It's like it's like it went by in an instant.
Yeah.
And I won't make any, but because the thing is like listening to shit like that, who cares, podcasts or whatever, but like Minecraft feels exactly the same as drawing and making art, but it's this meaningless, soul-sucking, stupid thing.
Well,
anyway, say what you want about Minecraft. I fucking love Minecraft. It's great. But oh my god, that kid almost fucking fell so hard. That scared me so bad. I'm so glad that kid didn't fall. Because he would have just hit the cement hard. Aww. Anyway. But like, I just keep, but my problem right now is that I feel like I've been unwilling to check myself. And I've been just letting myself, I don't know if there's a name for it, but like I just let myself hyper focus on things that I know don't matter. And I am trading away time more than you think. I know you look skeptical right now, but I think I do this more than you know. More than I let on.
I know that you do it, and I can tell when you are trying not to let me know that you're doing it.
Okay.
But I also think that it serves an important purpose for you sometimes, because I think that I have two criticisms at that point, unless you have more to say about it.
Yeah, fuck it. I have more to say, but go ahead.
This is a fight now. Well, one of them is, I think that you need to allow yourself to like things for the sake of liking them more. There's nothing wrong with skateboarding. There's nothing wrong with Minecraft. I think that you talk about it like you're a sack of shit.
Well, I don't want to give up skateboarding, but I do think that I need to curb my indulgence of like video games.
That's fair. I mean, everything has its limits, so within reason, whatever. But that was one thing. But my other thing is, I think that when you do that, because I've known you for a pretty long time now, and simultaneously, like, shockingly short amount of time. That's a different tangent, but every time that you do that for like a month and a half, and you won't acknowledge that you're doing it, and it's like you're very intensely doing it, and then I don't hear from you for like a day and a half or something, and you've done like 37 things and like fixed all of the things that you were sleeping on. You just needed the recharge time.
But like what I want to change that to is not being productive in like a violent like manic way.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste time in a like catatonic state. Like I don't I'm either basically like sealed into a tomb, or I am like flying into the sun. And true. I don't want, like, I just want to have a normal flow of activity.
Yeah.
I don't want to be running crazily, and I don't want to be asleep at the wheel. Like, I want to just be consistently moving at a normal speed, completing things in a normal, timely manner. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I no more of this psycho shit and no more of the rapid time wasting.
That is the ADHD thing.
Yeah.
You were talking about. I relate to all of that, by the way. I do all of those things too. But
I don't know.
I
can tell him. Yeah.
Well, maybe the root to all of that is being a little bit kinder to yourself, and when you're feeling catatonic, acknowledging the reasons why. Maybe that's extreme overstimulation or like lack of. And maybe you've just been really hard on yourself in your head, because that usually seems to be what's going on. That you're just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes things can be kind of hard. And if you're patient with yourself through it, and you kind of are self-soothing in the way that you think and the way that you address yourself and the way that you coach yourself through handling those things, it can be like your muscles kind of relax, but inside of your brain. Or, like, for me, you just shit on yourself and you feel like you aren't accomplishing anything, or you're not doing the things you need to do, and you have, like, a meltdown. Like, my token move is just falling asleep in the middle of the day. Just like getting really upset and then taking a nap. Just like I can't do that anymore.
We should talk more about that off air. It's kind of interesting that you just said that. I have some thoughts on that. Nothing, but
I have off-air thoughts.
I have off-air thoughts about your naps.
What the fuck are you gonna say to me?
Don't fucking worry about it. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Me too.
But dude, like, I want to. And I feel like it's happening just by acknowledging it, in a sense. But I feel like I want to mature in my work ethic. Because I'm very arrogant, I think, with my work ethic. And I think I have inflated my ego in some ways in that. Because a compliment that I get a lot and have for my entire life is like, wow, like, how do you make so many paintings? Or how do you make that much stuff all the time?
Yeah.
But that's not true. It's just I know how to manufacture that through social media. I know how to rapidly produce content. Well, I don't know how to rapidly produce art in this like super fucking crazy productive like robo fucking artist. Like that's not what I'm doing. Like I'm not like some creative output faucet. Like I am just.
I think both things are true, because I've also shared a studio with you and seen you do like 15 paintings in a day.
But it's different though, because you can't scale. You can't really scale that though, because there are artists that make 5 paintings a year.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know why I'm debating you.
It's okay.
Because you're right. And like, maybe I should give myself more credit, but like, I feel like I like that. I like that people think that I make so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? So much so that I know how to make it look like I do that more. You're squinting. Like, I feel like you think like I'm like...
I think you do. Like, there is a manufactured element to it, but I think it's also true. I just feel I'm sensing a pattern in you when you talk about yourself and your art. Maybe this isn't off the air thought.
Go ahead, fucking say it. I want it on the air. You want me to
just call you out on the air?
Go ahead, fuck it, do it.
Whenever you talk about yourself, you talk like you're a piece of shit and a fraud. You need to figure that out. That's the reason you go catatonic whenever you have a bunch of shit piling up on your lap.
Damn, maybe that was off air.
Have more faith in yourself.
I do feel like a fraud.
I love you. You're not.
I love you too. You're doing really good.
Me?
You are.
What am I?
I'm changing the subject. Okay?
Like, what the fuck are you
You're
talking
doing
about?
great with your life.
Thanks.
Forget about everything
You are
I
too.
said.
Mwah. No, you're awesome. You're gonna figure
Well,
it out.
I just
So
like.
am I.
I just think that I want to. I prioritize how I think I am being perceived more than I prioritize my self-image and what I actually,
Yeah.
And I think that is, it almost sounds like a 7 deadly sin or something. Like, it just sounds bad. Like, it just doesn't sound, I don't know.
It sounds very normal though, because something that I'm noticing too is you're talking about your resolutions being related to like work ethic and like output, but the problem isn't your work ethic, it's your self-image, really. It's about how you feel about that stuff, or how you feel people perceive it, or the way that you're, like, all of this extra bullshit that has to do with the way that you're thinking about it, not actually the nuts and bolts of your output. Because your work ethic is realistically fine. It's the pressure that you're applying and the things that pressure results in, like being really overwhelmed for long periods of time and only doing things that are self-soothing, and then feeling like a piece of shit for doing things that are self-soothing when that's really just an instinct to protect yourself.
Yeah.
In 2022, Brian's going to learn self-love.
No, I don't hate myself. You're right. I know. I just want, my New Year's resolutions are always like, kick ass this year, make tons of art. And that's just not like, I don't know. I can feel myself mentally retreating from this conversation.
I think you should lean into the things you retreat from.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe not on the air right now, but...
No, that's okay. I'm what the famous Twitch streamer Hassan Piker would call a content demon. Just kidding. No, I'm not.
A little bit.
That was a pretty...
Only
That's a
kinda.
word I learned recently that I think is really interesting, where somebody who is a content demon would be somebody who is like sacrificing all aspects of their life and making content out of literally anything in like a self-destructive way.
What's up with everybody in the Target parking lot vaping right now, by the way?
Dude, vape life, bro. It's the COVID safe cigarette. No, it's
It
not.
isn't.
It's the opposite.
It's the cigarette you share with all your friends that tastes like juice.
I don't even know why I brought COVID into it, TBH. Well, that's how a weed vape would be.
I've seen like 3 different groups of teenagers passing around a regular vape.
Well, that's probably
parking
because it's
lot.
weed. It's probably not a vape.
I thought weed vapes don't look the same.
Well, that one that girl's holding, that looks like a regular nicotine vape.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, the nicotine ones, I feel like usually have a screen where you can control the voltage and stuff, and the weed ones just kind of look like creepy, shady, like 2012 vapes. Like the ones that like blow up in your hand type shit.
I feel like the weed vapes that I've seen have all been pens.
That's what I mean. Like the weed vape structure, like mechanically, looks way more old school than the nicotine ones. Like the nicotine ones, I think it's because nicotine vapes are legal.
I was going to say the opposite. I feel like... Neither of us actually know.
Well, I've stopped vaping during like the vape ban, the great vape ban death of early 2020.
Yeah,
Late 2019.
Weed vapes aren't illegal.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I also don't smoke weed. I don't know what's going on with weed legalization.
Weed is legal.
Oh, I know that it is, but I mean, I don't know. I know that vaping's like a pretty hairy, like political
Yeah, that's true.
thing. Like there's
Why
a
are
lot
we
of-
talking? I don't fucking know. I don't even want to talk about that.
And the great, oh my god, I accidentally just said the wrong word. The great, never mind. I was trying to say vape. Never mind. I just made that situation so awkward. Sorry.
I love you.
Yeah, right. You don't. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I don't believe you.
Shut up. No,
Fire.
you don't. You're manipulating me.
It's been a long con.
This is to gain what? Like you just
Clout.
get clout from where? What clout?
Wait, everybody will listen to this. This is Brian's off button.
You can't do that.
It worked. If you push on one specific spot on Brian's forehead, they just stop talking. It's fucking crazy,
Stop
actually. It's really weird.
I want to sleep. Stop touching my forehead. All right, we should wrap this fucking episode up.
Okay.
There's so much more that I want to say and want to keep talking about.
We'll
but
revisit it in part 2.
have you ever found yourself upset in talking to somebody about the thing that you're upset about or whatever? Like you're venting or talking about a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find yourself completely unable to stop being upset because you're still talking about it.
Yes.
And then once somebody changes the subject, you instantly spring into life.
You're asking me that like that's not something that we talked about like 2 days ago with me.
Did we really talk about that? Oh, we have talked about that in a different way. But I think I'm kind of doing that right now.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'm doing that a little bit.
Maybe we should cancel this
I think I'm feeling
conversation.
sorry for myself and being self-absorbed
That's...
about New Year's resolutions. See, I don't get this is like a little bit imbalanced because you literally say like the worst stuff about yourself. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
I don't hate myself. You hate yourself.
Yeah. I didn't judge your resolutions. Well, your resolutions were just incredibly practical and reasonable.
I'm not judging your resolutions. I think you have good resolutions.
Well, I haven't written mine. These aren't my resolutions. I'm like brainstorming right now. I'm going to write down like real ones probably tomorrow.
I'm going to finish mine soon, but I wrote my list of... I wrote a list of them, but I haven't done a reflection.
Do you actually have plans tomorrow?
I have work tomorrow.
I meant after work.
Oh, no.
Like for the night.
No.
Well, tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Shit. Yeah.
Where have you been? We're recording a New Year's Eve episode right now.
I thought it was the next day for some reason. I keep thinking that it's Saturday.
Well, it's New Year's Eve right now. It's New Year's Eve for the listener, but it's Eve for us.
We should go out.
We should go out and get on. Never mind.
Go what?
Omicron.
No.
Sorry. It was a joke.
I'm boosted.
Me too.
Vaxxed up, masked up.
Yeah, by the way, for all the people listening that haven't gotten the booster yet,
Fucking do it.
I'm not making a moral judgment on you. It's totally okay. I totally understand. Everyone has their own reasons, but get the damn booster.
Fucking do it immediately.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go do our thing. Let's go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Boston Art Podcast.
They turned their fucking high beams on again!
That piece of fucking shit.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Oh, God. All right.
No.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy 2022.
I'm gonna fucking die.
I hope you're okay. I hope
No.
wherever you are on God's green earth, you are among trusted friends and you are in a good place.
I'm not too many friends in the same place and wear a mask.
And for all the people out there that are in a terrible place, that feel like they have a bad life, no one loves you, and you have a terrible life, I think that it is possible for you, too, to have a good life soon. Even if it's horrible right now. Is that fucked up to say?
It's actually super fucked up.
Is it really? No, it isn't.
It's really nice.
Well, I don't know, man. We're not here to be that type of content. But
For all the people out there that are sad, fuck you. Bye.
little bitch. All right, love you guys. Boston Art Podcast.
Woo!
Bye-bye. Happy New Year's.
Happy
Bye.
New Year's.
Okay, bye.